A couple days ago, while I was doing an outdoor review of this W Altos V912, I crashed it. The cause was overconfidence, well, all my fault. To punish myself, I am putting myself in the doghouse, and in the next couple reviews, I'll be just doing 2-channel helicopters. I'm hoping that I'm going to get rid of my cockiness and come back to the basics and practice my RC helicopter flying skills. Here I have another one, let's get started. Greetings RC friends, welcome to Props and Wheels. Here I have a Hornet glow-in-the-dark 2-channel RC helicopter from Hornet Toys. I purchased this little helicopter for $12.99 plus tax from Target. The total was $13.67. The price seems to be right if it flies well, and it promises quite a bit things. First of all, there is apparently a motion sensor, so you can control it with your hand. And also I was looking at the tail rotor. You know, with 2-channel helicopters, they usually don't have a tail rotor because they have 2 motors. One runs each main rotor blade, the coaxials, and they do the turning by differentially decreasing, increasing power between those. But this really has a wire running through the boom to the back, and there's a very tiny little motor here. Let me open it up and show you. Here it is, folks, the contents. The helicopter itself. So there is only one motor, main motor. And these 2 rotor blades, they rotate in the opposite direction. One is clockwise and the other one is counterclockwise. And they are driven by the same motor. And then there is, surprisingly, another little motor on the tail which controls the rotation, right, left, yaw. And the throttle controls up and down. Here is the infrared controller with these infrared LEDs on top. And this is the throttle, so it is not altitude hold. And because altitude hold transmitters have this centered and spring-loaded, so it is not. And I don't know what the motion sensor launch and motion sensor land is on this one. We'll find out. And it requires 3 AA batteries. And this helicopter did not come with a Phillips screwdriver, so you need your own. Here is the tiny little charger. This goes to a USB adapter, and this end goes, seeming to the bottom here. I'm just checking if there is a light. Yes, so there is a red light inside that came on. Let me see if I can actually take the canopy off easily. Here's the canopy, and there is an LED light in the front, and here's the little battery that's integrated. So the battery is in here, and you can probably see the red light. So that's the charging light. It's charging now. And what else was in the package? The instruction manual. The English is good. I just quickly skimmed through it. It is a small manual, but this is a very simple helicopter, so that's fine. But the English is very good. And they also provided these spare rotor blades, one of each type. So you only get a half a set, not full set. So if you break both of these rotor blades on top or on the bottom, you are going to have trouble fixing it, because with these toy helicopters, you cannot easily find the spare parts. While it's charging, I would like to point out a couple things. The sensor for the infrared controls is over here. So this little black structure here. And it receives signals from these 2 LEDs on top of the transmitter. These types of helicopters depend on line of sight between the transmitter and this detector, so there shouldn't be anything blocking the light when you are flying it, like a furniture or somebody passing in front of it. And then each rotor blade has its own stabilizing bar or fly bar, as you can see. And on the controller, the trim is incorporated into 2 buttons instead of that dial. It is definitely easier pressing the buttons than rotating a dial. The The red light here turned off, so the charging is complete. It took about half an hour. Probably there was some residual charge. Let's put the canopy back on. Here we go. And it has two modes. One is just the regular flight mode, and the second one is the mode which you control the altitude using your hand. So let's turn it on and bind it first. So there's an on-off switch on the bottom. You turn that one on first. So the light, oh, it's a colored light actually. It's very nice. So you put on a level surface so that the gyro stabilizes, and then you turn on the controller. The light is blinking, the red light. First you take the throttle all the way down and then all the way up. It's blinking quicker, and back all the way down. The light stopped blinking and it should be ready to go. And as you can see, it is ready to go. So let's start the flight testing in this mode, and then we will test out the motion sensor mode. Now it is time to cross my fingers and hope that this two-channel helicopter is much better than the Happy Cow Toys Eidolon fishy two-channel helicopter that I reviewed in the last video. Alright, everything is set, so let's give some throttle. It is quick. It is quick. And it requires quite a bit of trim because it has been rotating like crazy. So I'm giving some left trim because it's rotating right. And I think once it's trimmed, it's going to start flying straight. And you have to be quick. Yeah, this is one of those helicopters which is very difficult to control, because it does not want to stay flying straight. So that's the issue here. I'm disappointed. Yes, I mean there's no... You have to be very, very gentle, and then I think the controls are on off. So it's flying a little better. So once it keeps going, yeah, it's a little better. It has some momentum. But it is very difficult to hold it flying straight. It just overreacts very quickly. Okay now, but from time to time it just loses its balance and doesn't want to go straight, just overshoots. So close to being great. It's over rotating, and then let's see if I can bring it back without hitting that wall. I mean, when it's flying straight, it's good. It's just you have to be giving very small inputs if you want to turn, like bump tiny bit. Especially with the right turn, it gets quite destabilized. I don't know why. But I'm getting a hang of it. I mean, you see, its forward motion is not that fast, so you have some reaction time. I think this is flying a little slower than the blue fish I reviewed in the previous video. Okay, I don't want to deplete the whole battery. Let me see if I can land properly. Oh, it's hard. I want to... Alright. I crashed on the helipad, not landed. So, what it says to activate the motion sensor mode is, let me turn it off, is turn it back on and do the binding as usual, like this, and then turn on, up, down. But then you hold it in your hand and then press this button which says motion sensor launch, and then it will leave some distance from your hand. Let's see. Well, don't go too high. Alright. Yeah, it is working, but it is rotating like crazy, so I need to... So it is also feeling the ground. Let me bring it. I'm going to give... I don't know if the trim is working in this mode. Let's see if I can rotate it. No, it is just rotating like crazy, so that it actually stays in one place, because if it is rotating really fast, it doesn't drift much. And then you kind of bring your hand to control it, and then if you want to land it, you just press the other button here. Okay? It is working, but you cannot control the directionality of it, so it only rotates around like crazy, but does not really. This stick does not control the right, left yaw. All right. So can I still do the take off and then fly it regularly? No. So I have to rebind. Put it on the ground. Up, down. Let's see if it's going to keep its... No, it doesn't keep its last trim. So I have to give a lot of left. And this is supposed to be glow in the dark. I'm going to now attempt landing it and then turn off the lights and see if it really glows in the dark. But probably I'm not going to see the glow in the dark because of the lights. It has LED lights as well, so that's probably going to make it difficult to see. Alright, I cannot see anything. Let's see. I mean, it is not fluorescent like glow in the dark. It just has LED light, and I can fly it with the LED light, kind of. I was going to catch it in the air, but misjudged how far it was. It may not be on off, it may have two speeds actually for the turn. Because you see I can also control it turn a little slower. The left turn is a little more abrupt, but the right turn I can control a little slower. I think the battery is getting low. I'm giving more and more throttle to keep it in the air. Almost. So, let's give a final verdict. It almost made it like to the top, but it didn't because of the instability with the turns. So, I wish there was a way of making it a little more stable, maybe just by adding a little weight, but then it will fly a little faster. Because this control right here, the right turn, left turn, it is very abrupt most of the time, so you have to be very careful. Other than that, for $13, yeah, I recommend it if you want to have some fun. But don't expect to, fly this to start your RC hobby. I will always recommend buying something a little more professional with the correct controls instead of starting with the 2-channel helicopter. This is just for playing around and having some fun. But if you are serious about getting into RC helicopters, don't start with this. Pay a little bit more. If you are willing to spend $25–30, I recommend you buying a coaxial with the side fans that has 4-channel control and then the proper controls. Basically right, left, forward and backward bank on the right stick, and then throttle and the yaw or rotation on the left stick. And I reviewed such a helicopter before, although it's toy grade. You can start with that. It's called LC-0 to Thunder. I reviewed it in July 2021, last summer, and I'll put the link here as well as down in the description. For this one, I got it from Target, so easy pickup. You can order online and then go to a store to pick up. $13 and some change. It is fun, it has nice light. The controller feels solid for a toy grade controller. And it has a tail rotor. That was a surprise. Although it doesn't make it more stable than the fish. Actually, the fish was flying better. The problem was with the controller, every time I tried to turn it right, it fell out of the sky. It was losing connection. Or maybe there was some bad connection in the gimbal. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them below. I have more 2-channel RC helicopter reviews coming. Please stay tuned for the next video. Stay safe and healthy. Take care. Bye-bye.